Good morning, my people. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the diaspora machismo, my people. It has been another wonderful Friday morning for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. Let me first remind you, the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, and or the white man's fame. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you enslaved the African American, my people? All in all, it was another beautiful day for protest. Unfortunately or fortunately, I do not have anything particularly interesting that I should bring to your attention as to the activities that occurred while I protested. And as you know, when I have finished protesting and have brought you an update as to what transpired while I protested, it is always my delight and pleasure to bring you something from the word of the Most High God. My people, let us examine some things that David would have said in Psalms 91, and we are going to examine two areas of this powerful Psalms. Verse 1 and verse 2. He that walketh in the sacred place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say, He is my Lord. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. In Him will I trust. What does this mean? In regular language, this is what it says. He that is faithful to the Most High God will be protected by the Almighty. For He is my safe place and my place where I will be defended in time of trouble. This is what this passage means. And this is highly powerful. But let us jump down to verse 10 and 11 of that same chapter, Psalms 91. It says that there shall no evil befall thee, nor plagues come near your dwelling. For the Most High God will give His angels charge over you. They shall bear you up in their hands, lest you knock your foot against a stone. My people, this is clear. No evil, no one who come together and conspire and execute their conspiracy against you will ever prosper. So when those people intentionally spread COVID-19, you don't have to worry, because the Most High have promised that if you are faithful to Him, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. He would even protect you and prevent you from hitting your foot against a stone. He will send angels to take care of you. My people, on Wednesday, I said in part of my video that when you watch these African American and these Mexican and the other nations that get us here, they do things to their own detriment in order to please the Caucasians. I told you that the African American, they are ready and willing to fight against their own without any cause, especially when the Caucasians are present, because they know the Caucasians love it when they see us fighting against each other, and they want to please the Caucasians because some of them want a job, some of them want a record deal, some of them want this, they want that. All of them want something that the white man has, and they will perform in the presence of the white man, even if it means destroying their own. to get what they want. They refuse to honor the Most High God, who have said that the troubles that you are experiencing are for your enemies and those people who hate you and persecute you. Deuteronomy chapter 30. Yet, instead of honoring the Most High and being faithful to the Most High God, we prefer to do all kind of nastiness, dishonor our bodies, dishonor the Most High God, and depend on the Caucasians for something that is rightfully ours. My people, what I just read there in Psalms 91 is the truth. What I also quoted in Isaiah 54 verse 17 that says, no weapon that forms against you shall prosper. It is the truth. And there is no one who can dispel the truth. Let me tell you this. After I finished speaking to you about the actions of the African American against each other in the effort to impress the white man, to get something from the white man, as soon as I walked into the library and opened up the computers and I turned into YouTube, I saw a video from 20 years ago where David Letterman was interviewing Little Richard, the man who invented rock and roll. I normally don't listen to him because he's homosexual, but I decided to listen to this video, and when I listened to the video, what I've been saying for many years, Little Richard confirmed it. He says when he was a child in Georgia, he loved singing, he wanted to be a singer. And anytime he go to this talent show, they will not let him sing. But when he dressed up with rouge and eyelashes and all of these nasty homosexual stuff, the people allow him to sing. He noticed the trend, so he started dressing up. And when he dressed up like a lady, a girl, a feminine man, he was allowed to perform. But when he go there as a straight man, as a dude, as he said, guess what? He was barred from performing. Little Richard realized that there was something here. And when he became homosexual, his career in the music business took off. My people, I'm going somewhere with this. When I say something, because I observe it, or because the Most High God tell me to say it, after I have said it, it always comes to pass. I always get the evidence to satisfy what was said. Let me give you another practical example. On Wednesday, after I finished my video, I went to use a computer on lower level 2. Lower level 1, sorry. And while I was at lower level 1, that is when I discovered the Little Richard thing. So, at midday, I went and I prayed, and I came back to the library to do some stuff. So, in the morning, I put about 6 or so marshmallows I had remaining in my pocket, and I said I'll eat it during the course of the day. So when I went back to the library in the evening, I tell you, they watch me everything I do. The Caucasians has their slaves watching me everything I do. When I went back to the library in the afternoon, I saw this white schmuck hiding behind her computers. As anytime I come into the lower level 1, that white schmuck will be there hiding behind her computers, the librarian. And I saw her, and as soon as I sat down, I remembered the marshmallows. That is because that white schmuck behind the computers put it in my mind that the marshmallows are in my pocket. As soon as I take out the marshmallows out of my pocket and open the bag, the white smoke came around, she passed, she didn't say nothing. I realized the marshmallows were crushed up. And in order for me to eat those 5 marshmallows, I had to dirty my fingers. So I put it on the desk next to the computer because I'm going to throw it in the garbage. Remember, this was all a part of their plan because they see me put the marshmallow in my pocket in the morning. So she came back from where she was. And she said, "Sir," with contempt and vitriol in her voice, "Sir, is that food on the desk? There's no eating in the library. Put it away." So I took up the thing and I put it in one of the pockets of my backpack to throw it away. Well, I do not control how that smoke speaks to me and what tone she speaks to me in. I'm not going to be worried about that. But it was all a big part of the plans. About 5 minutes later, a Mexican guy came in. And he came in with a bag. He had chips and apples and all kind of thing in the bag. And he sat right next to me. And he take out the chip and he opened the chips. He heard it go. Everybody could hear it. Even the librarian heard it, but she knew what was happening. He was there crunching on chips. Jack, 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 jack. She came by, she saw him, she didn't say anything. He was crunching on apples. She came by, she didn't say anything. She expected me to say something. I'm not going to say anything. It's not my business. I am not one to break the rules of the library. I'm not one to break the rules of anything. I use, and I don't want to get the privileges of going contrary to the rules because I am not a rule breaker. I don't want the privilege of a homosexual because I am not a homosexual. I am not going to be doing the things that they are doing. I ain't taking the dick up my ass and I ain't putting my dick in nobody's ass. So they wanted me to think that if I start behaving or conforming, I will get the same privilege. I don't want that privilege. Then the other bald-head, light-skinned guy, homosexual guy who is one of the librarians at the library, they came on duty. He came and he said, "The man there, this is a man, right? If you go to him to ask for information and you object or tell him, no, I do not, that's not what I want. He is quick to tell you when he's giving you wrong information that you're being disruptive and he will call security for you. But yet he's watching this guy eating on apples and chips right there. And he's not saying anything because it was a part of the plan." This was the second time this happened with that same lady in the same order with the same Mexican guy because they're trying to do to me what they did to Little Richard. Little Richard recognized what they were doing and what he had to do in order to get the same privilege. I don't want their privileges. I hate those people. Let me tell you something. All of those Caucasians hate me in the library. And I hate them 10 times as much, and they know it. Their hate for me is natural. My hate for them was practiced and developed, and it matured over a period of time. Their weapons that are formed against me cannot prosper. Let me switch on another note and to show you how David's words are truth. That the Most High will give his angels charge over you and they will lift you up even if you're going to hit your foot against a stone. In 2012 or 2013 or thereabout, while I was still living in New York City, I decided I am going to see America. So I purchased an RV And in my purchasing, the process of purchasing the RV, I was trying to get a nice RV for as little money as possible. So I started searching ads all over. And I saw an ad for an RV in Boston. I called the people and I asked them out. They said it's a good RV. And they were quick to sell the RV. So I said, you know what? Instead of shelling out $4,000 on a vehicle that I've never seen, let me take the opportunity to drive to Boston and get the opportunity to see Boston in the process and go and check out the RV. So I drove, I put the address in the GPS because I'm not that savvy like my nephew Ozan, who is able to drive from New York City to Georgia just by memorizing the trip. So I put the information in the GPS. And when I got to Boston, the GPS take me up a mountain. I was driving up a mountain for about an hour. And I say, my God, this place is up a mountain. It's dirt road, no concrete road, dirt road. I was about to turn back, and when I was about to turn back, a man in a SUV came, a white guy, and he asked me, where you going? So I explained to him my predicament. He says, there's a small community up there, but there's no RV up there. However, let us go to make sure that you're in the right place. I drove behind him, and we drove for another half an hour. And this was like high speed we were going because he was driving fast. So when I got to this place in the mountain, it was a small community in the mountain. The city hall, the registry, the library, and all of them is in one upstairs and downstairs house, a little house. The school was a two-story building, a two-story wooden building where the children go to school. The sheriff drive around the town in her pajamas. It was a woman. She patrolled in her pajamas. I spoke to the sheriff, I spoke to the town clerk, all of them white, everybody in the place white. I told them about what I'm doing there. My people, the only person who was trying to help me was the town clerk, and I guess that was her responsibility. I used the internet with the old 1980s computers. The internet was slower than a snail. I did not get anything done on the internet trying to relocate my GPS. I spent the entire day in that city, in that little village. It is not until the sun was about to set that everybody in the village come together and was hustling, trying to get me out of the village. For what reason, I don't know. I start saying, I guess this is a colony of vampires or werewolf, and they're afraid that if I am here after sunset, they will try to kill me. All kind of things are coming through my mind. I even thought probably all of these people in the middle of this mountain out of nowhere are people who are in the federal protective custody program. All the things that were going to bend into my mind. However, they did not reset my GPS, But what they did, they give me oral directions. They tell me when I go down the hill, where to turn and how to get to the place. That is because the city in the mountains and the city in the valley has the same address. But the only thing, the city in the valley, the highway runs through it. But the city in the mountains is isolated from everywhere. You will never know that there is a little town up there with about 80 people. If you were driving up that road and you see it's just a dirt road, You would have thought, as I thought, this road leads to nowhere. But it led to somewhere. I don't know who those people are, why they were there, and why they were trying to get me out of the city when the sun was about to set. But all I can say, the Most High will give his angels charge over you. Another story before I finish. When I reached to North Carolina, I parked up in another city. Only white people in that place. Only white people. I parked up there for about a week, 7 or 8 days. I went out, I interacted with the people there. I went to their diner. Every Sunday morning, everyone in that neighborhood goes to the diner and interact. I went to the diner with them and I interacted with them. They tell me their stories. I wrote their stories. I did a blog. I wrote the stories and I did a blog, took pictures and all kind of things. I showed them themselves on the internet. Not only can they see you now, they can read about your story and they know who you are. They were pleased. Then when I left that city after 8 or so days, I went to Durham, North Carolina, and I spent a few months in Durham, North Carolina. I love that place. My people, when I told the black people in Durham, North Carolina, where I went and what I did and how I spent it, they were surprised. And you know what they tell me? They say, you have to be careful in North Carolina where you go and where you stay and who you interact with, because there is a lot of places that are Ku Klux Klan places, and if you go there, they will kill you. And that place where I went and spent 7 days parked up in my RV, interact with the white people, that was Ku Klux Klan country. The Most High will give his angels charge over you. They will lift you up. Let you dash your foot against a stone. They can't touch I. They couldn't even touch I when I was ignorant to who they are and was in their place interacting with them. They could touch me now. When the Most High said in Isaiah chapter 54 verse 17 that no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, he's not speaking about everyone. He's speaking about the faithful, those who are unconditionally faithful to the Most High God. We will walk upon snakes and others, and they will not be able to harm us. The pestilence shall be all around us, but they will never come near our dwelling. That's the Most High's plan for the faithful, not for everybody. You can't live like a dog and expect to benefit from the full-on protection of the Most High God. The Most High God says in Deuteronomy chapter 28, if you are diligent in keeping my law, and if you are diligent in doing the thing that I say, your enemies will come at you in one united front and will run from you in 7 directions. My people, my name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the Diaspora Machismo.